Hi guys, good morning. So I sit down and forget all about everything. Who am I? Where am I? What's my name? What am I doing here? Fuck's sake. And there's some woman taking massive bags full of stuffed toys out of her car. Wow. What a distorted reality we live in. Hey guys, what a total fucking abomination it really is. And how incredible that we're surrounded by these beings who can't see that and keep reinforcing that it's all wonderful and great and amazing. I did a video about an hour ago which I deleted. Actually, I never uploaded it. I deleted it from my camera because I got a bit lippy before I even had a chance to rein myself in, as it were. Got a bit lippy about the right. I thought to myself, fuck it. You know, yeah, I could have posted it, but actually the things I said were actually surplus to requirement, because, you know, I find that increasingly I'm less and less and less actively interested in the fucking drama, the continual drama. I have an image of it in my head, and it's like a swirl. I'm in the middle, and there's this continual swirl going around me that is just made up of static, you know, as in Poltergeist, you know, when the little girl is sat there in front of the television, they're here, and then she gets sucked into it, you know. It's a bit like that, and that is exactly what happens to us on a daily basis if we allow it. You see, I'm beginning to get a clearer image and an understanding of what it's all about and how it all works, and that's always been my my path, my impetus to fully fucking understand and really get a handle on this thing, this experience, this journey, right? Because I have a fucking right to know. It's as simple as that. I have a right to know, and I have the IQ to understand and to examine and to put the pieces of the jigsaw together, you know? As a child, I was always given to understand that I was stupid because I was really crap at maths. I really was. Still am. 2 and 2 is 9. I know it is. I was always given to feel that I was, well, you know, stupid. Really, really stupid, that I had a low IQ. But actually, it turns out I have quite a high IQ. I did have an IQ test done when I was about 11 and came back as quite high. Subsequent drug use may have lowered it a few bits here and there, but yeah, anyway. I think most soul travelers will find that they are possessed of a very robust IQ, because soul travelers are here to do exactly what I'm doing, and that is to work this shit out and to put an end to it. And to that end we need IQ. But we need IQ of a different nature than what goes for IQ in this ridiculous fucking insane asylum. You know, forget Mensa, alright? It's bullshit. That is not IQ. There's these idiots, these NPCs, you know, a lot of these mathematical savants, for example, are the dumbest motherfuckers you can come across. It's appalling, you know. Anyway, here I go off on a tangent again. I wanted to talk about something very specific today, but of course everything is related. And this is a very yucky subject that everybody is busy studiously avoiding, yet a fucking canon is this: sexual shame. Right? Nobody wants to go there, nobody fucking does, so oh fuck it, I'll go there, because I'd rather look it right in the eye than to carry on living in fear of it. I find with the whole shame construct, it's a bit like shadows on the wall, a bit like Plato's cave, really. Or for any of you who are not familiar with the Plato's cave thing, put in Plato's cave in YouTube and it will give you some cartoony thing. I'll see if I can find it. I'll put it in the drop down box below. But it's a very, very, very good analogy of what is going on in this nasty fucking hellscape. But it is like shadows on the wall. We're so terrified of our internal world, our shame and fear constructs. We are purposefully made terrified of it so that we never go there. So that it's there, unacknowledged by us. And in fact, if you look at other people on the external, none of them are aware of it at all. They are all completely oblivious to it. Pretty much. That is what mind control is. It's not there. You don't have a doubt. No, it's not there. Well, you're so worthless, you don't deserve to exist, and you're so guilty and dirty and disgusting that you are completely beyond redemption. There will never be any love. There will never be any safety. There is only terrifying fear, because if there's never going to be any love and there's never going to be any safety and you're never ever going to be redeemed and you will never ever ever have any kind of comfort ever, and you will be alone forever and ever because you deserve that, because that is how disgusting and dirty and bad and guilty you are. That's going to engender some serious fucking rotting fear, isn't it, guys? Let's face it. And yeah, that is exactly what's going on here. But everybody's like, no, that's not true. No, Coca-Cola, I want to build a world at home and furnish it with love whilst drinking Coca-Cola, which is really good for cleaning toilets as well. Ha 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 ha. Rot. Okay, so let's dispense with all the fucking bullshit. Let's dispense with all the, oh, I'm just going to focus on the external. Oh, what's going over there? Oh, girlfriend. Oh, miss. Oh, he says this is going on. He says that's going on. He says that all the people that have been, are doing, and we're all going to, and this is happening. Oh, magnets, and we must focus on the external. Must focus on the external. Must focus on the external. Don't go in there. Don't go inside of yourself. Don't go to the within. Don't look at that. Because it's too horrifying and it will annihilate you. If you go there, it will annihilate you. If you go there, the dark side will punish you for your defiance. You agreed that you were going to allow us to mind control you and totally fuck you up and keep you trapped like there in the shame and the guilt and the fear construct. But yeah, that's right. You agreed to that. You did you fuck? But you're going to be oblivious to that fact. And you're going to not even know that happens. You're going to not even remember you agreed to that. See? So, you're going to just be out externally focused all the time. And the name of the game is that, you're completely malleable because of the great big toxic shame construct right there, the elephant of the living room that you can't see because we've blinded you to it, because we've made it so horrifically unpalatable for you to go in there and look at it that you've just forgotten it's even there. But now all the advertising has total control over your mind, and all that nice sexual and violent subliminal content in all those evil cartoons that you were forced to watch when you were, I don't know, 1 year old, 2 year old, 3 year old, 4 year old, 5 year old, whatever, that totally wormed its way into your psyche and did all these horrific things to you, reinforcing the whole narc contract that you'd forgotten you'd made. All of that is going on, And the reason that it has so much power over us and mangles us and wrangles us is because we are in a state of unconsciousness. Until, of course, we start to awaken. And when I say awaken, I mean to go within. I don't class people who are oblivious to the toxic shame construct within them and the power it has over them, who are oblivious to that, who are completely focused on the external and continue, oh yeah, he says this, and oh, that's going on, and oh, the world is and that, and oh, and are. That is not awakening. That is not awakening at all. No. Awakening is to awaken to the presence of the toxic shame construct within us, the power that it has over every aspect of us and our psyche. That is the black hand. It is also the hell contagion, because it's all trauma and self-hate. This belief that I am so worthless, I don't deserve to exist. A belief that I am dirty. When you listen to people's conversations when it pertains to sexuality and sexual behavior, you'll find that 99% of the time it's laden with shame, discomfort, cringe-worthy would be a word to describe. People say things like, I don't mean to be gross, but, or yeah, people literally don't want to go there, don't want to talk about it. There are a few people I've known throughout my life that had no problem talking about sex, but they were psychopaths and narcissists and NPCs, right? And conversely, and this is interesting, a lot of psychopaths are sex addicts, and their crimes are very sexual in nature. People like Ted Bundy and all this type of shit, you know. Sex is a major, not sex itself so much, but the way it has been usurped and hijacked and turned into the ultimate weapon. Because sexual shame is a massive, well, dare I say it, lockdown mechanism. You see, there's a reason why all this vernacular is everywhere. Lockdown, we're in lockdown, yeah. We are in lockdown. Because of course the actual lockdown that's really happening lies within us, and it's called the toxic shame construct. It's held in place by fear, which makes us not want to go there, because this is no ordinary fear, you know. This is a fear so overwhelming, so dark, so terrifying that we can't go there. But of course, when you have a breakdown, as happens to so many soul travelers, we experience different breakdowns in different ways, right? But that is when the toxic shame walls, which are very thick, almost impenetrable, when a crack appears. Boom! You know, a crack appears. And it comes spilling out, whether you like it or not. It can no longer be kept in lockdown. Boom. One way or another, I feel this happens to all soul travelers. It may happen in one foul swoop. So, severe depression, terrible, terrifying, or like a psychotic episode. It could be that. It could be something that happens over a period of time. We all have different experiences of it. I had a breakdown. It was horrifying. I cannot even begin to put into words what I went through. It nearly killed me. The depression was so severe that it was literally unbearable, and for weeks I resisted taking psychotropic drugs, and every minute of the day I felt like rushing into the bathroom and slitting my wrist with a razor blade. My heart was going ka-doom, 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 ka-doom. I had weird tremblings all down my nervous system. My arm here, there was a pain. It was totally horrifying and terrifying. But in the end, I did have to take drugs because I could not endure it anymore. I couldn't eat and I couldn't sleep. And after 3 weeks of not sleeping, believe me, things don't tend to get better. So I had to take these things for a while, but I took them only for as long as I absolutely had to. Came off them and started going within and doing the work. It was the clinching factor, that breakdown. It happened 13 years ago, and it was the clinching factor in me actually understanding that the only way, the only path for me lay within, you know. The Green Wizard had his own experience as well, which led to him doing exactly the same thing. You know, did Charles of VC33 had an experience that he talks about. Again, you know, this is what happens to soul travelers. And the toxic shame construct has so many different aspects to it. It is made complicated on purpose, you know, because the consciousness virus that is evil, of course it wants to live. It's feisty and it wants to live, and it wants to keep creating, you know, the inversion. So it will do everything it can to stop us from doing what we are doing now, you see. And even whilst we are doing it, it will put up a hell of a fight. So when you think about sex and sexuality, I was watching a television series and it was called Outlander, and at first I thought, oh, this is pretty funky, pretty cool, you know, I quite like a good period drama. Somebody once said that I'd watched Tomatoes Grove, they was dressed up in a petticoat. Maybe this is true, but there we are. Anyway, so I was watching Outlander and I'm thinking it was pretty cool, it was pretty this and it's pretty that, until the first sex scene, because I realised, okay, I'm not going to be able to watch this because that is fucking pornography, plain and simple. And of course, that is not the only instance of such blatant satanic filth. Because nowadays, when you look at what's available to watch on Netflix or Amazon Prime or what is it in your country, America, Hulu, whatever, so much of it now is, wow, it's appalling, right? It's blatant sexuality perversion. It is satanic. There's no doubt about it. But this started, people, at a very early age. Because we were shoved by narcissistic mothers, or mothers that were very, very depressed and very, very unhappy, or very, very busy, or whichever, however, wherever, whatever, whoever, shoved in front of television boxes, watching Disney cartoons filled with subliminal manipulation of our little impressionable minds, of our energy, because this is weaponry, of course, because it goes way, way beyond just the mind. This is what creates these etheric implants. You know, it's all part of it, and it's all done on purpose. Sex and violence and guilt, sexual deviancy, sexual perversions, and the more you engage in that, the dirtier you feel, the more disgusting and guilty you feel. It all feeds the toxic shame construct within us. It all reinforces the lockdown within us. And that's what it's all about. And it's a fucking tough one to go into that feeling of overwhelming dirtiness. I am dirty. I am disgusting. You know? It's very, very painful. But it is a bit like in that Plato's cave analogy, like shadows on the wall. Because you find that once you go into it, address it, acknowledge it, face it, tangle with it, wrestle with it, sit with it, endure the unendurable, you'll find that, oh, it's not quite as bad as I thought. But it's made to look in its projection so much bigger and better than it in fact is. Because the reason for that is so that you do not do exactly what you are doing when you do the sacred work. You don't want to address that, you don't want to go there. You don't want to even understand or know that it is there in the first place. It's there to, when you're not in awareness of it, to manipulate you. It's there to interfere. It's there to influence to the detriment, right? To create the inversion. That's why it's there. That's why you need to continually believe that you're disgusting and dirty and guilty and beyond redemption. And you also, conversely, because this is very much a part of it, have to believe that you are not lovable, that love cannot reach you, never will, and that in fact, even if love did reach you, you may choose to think you can love yourself, it won't make any fucking difference, because love is powerless, love is nothing, love is equally as dirty as you are, and equally as powerless as you are, and equally therefore as worthless as you are. See? Now, why is evil so vehemently opposed to us loving ourselves? One wonders. Well, I hazard a guess. Let me try and see if I can hazard a guess as to why that might be. I would say that evil is afraid of love. Evil is afraid of love. Now, why would evil be afraid of love? Why would darkness, say, be afraid of light? Well, I don't know. Let's wait till it's, I don't know, midnight, stand in a dark room and then switch on the light and see what happens to the darkness, you know? So I suppose that answers that then. I do honestly feel with all my heart that this entire psyop, which is epic in proportions, we have had the wolf pulled over our eyes in so many different ways that, wow, layer after layer is the only way that we can do the sacred work, tiny step by tiny step. I liken it to being in the middle of the night in the fucking desert. There is not a fucking thing to be found anywhere. It's black. It's fucking cold, and there is a wind blowing, a massive wind, which opposes us because we're going right into it. And so the only way that we can progress is like this, tiny bit by tiny bit. Right? Some souls aren't ready for that. Deep, deep down, they know it's going to be incredibly difficult. And so they're like, okay, I'll do it my next life. And that's fair enough. I've no problem with that. Each their own. But for soul travelers, it is the time. Now, excuse me, now is the time. We know this. We know it. Yeah, you know. I made notes for my previous video, which I then scrunched up and now I can't read them anymore. What the fuck? Yeah, there was something, oh yeah, here we are. Sex drive. Negation of free will. Because if you think about it, right, the way people actually engage in sexual behaviour or relationships or whatever, physical congress, it's like arousal, which is something that happens in the body, in the mind, this through imagery or fantasy or whatever, and the next thing you know, you just engage in the behavior. But most people are not consciously present in a pure state, in a state of higher consciousness at all. It is. And so some people say it's animalistic. Well, actually, I don't think that's true. Animals, to me, are very pure. So I never call it that. It literally is a negation of free will, of awareness. What is this? What am I feeling? What am I doing? Why do I want to do this? You get what I'm saying? People say it's passion. Well, I don't think that's true at all. I think passion, again, is a pure thing. It is creative. It seeks to bring forth something good and true and beautiful. That is passion. So, no, it's not passion. It's something that wants to feed. It wants to be satisfied. Now, without reason. It wants and it does. And that is how most people engage with sexuality. So it is a kind of negation of free will. There's a hijack going on there that merely serves to reinforce the whole toxic shame construct. You see? So it's there. And for those who are not aware of it, they are continually catch-22 forced to engage in thinking, feeling and behavior that reinforces the toxic shame construct. If you just have a look at all the advertising, have a look at all the films and have a look at TV series, read some novels, have a look at art. Ever since the 20s, art's taken a massive nosedive. All of this, of course, was done on purpose. All of it. The degradation of truth, the degradation of purity, of true morality, which is nothing to do with religion, religiously induced morality. That is a suffocating thing. And it's actually very interesting that in the 20s there was this woman, I've no idea what her name is, but she set forth a series of like an attack, and it was like, oh, take Christianity out of the classrooms. And I'm like, yeah, good idea. But then it just gradually worse and worse, to destroy the family unit and to you know, to to start infiltrating the art world and fashion and this and that and the other. And yeah, absolutely, I see it all. But I believe that all religion, Christianity, Islam, all of it is actually Satanism. It's like the two faces of Janus. It really just is. It's the same entity. It's the same thing, and that's why it had no trouble taking Christianity out of the classroom and replacing it with what we see today. It's not the enemy of Christianity. It's just that Christianity, despite it being what it actually is, was too moral for them. They wanted to bring in the true face, you see, the face behind the face. I mean, Christianity reinforces the shame construct because it tells us how sinful we are. It tells people continually how dirty they are, how guilty they are, and how sinful they are. Right? I mean, it's a complete crock of shite, basically. And I think at some point people begin to see through it. They begin to realise that, hold the fuck on, right? So God is a God of love. And he creates beings that are so dirty and disgusting and sinful and bad. There's something wrong here, guys. Something isn't right. Right? And it's like, evil thinks, oh, right, guys, we've got to do something about that. Right, let's take it out of the classroom. Right, nothing to see here, nothing to see here. Here you go, here's Satanism, whatever. You know, it's I see it all. It's all bullshit. Another part of the shame construct, I feel, is, I don't know how many of you get this, but I certainly get it. And it's interesting because a friend of mine said it to me the other day. And it said to me, yeah, and do you remember? How many of you feel like you're being watched all the time? I remember feeling, even as a small child, like something was always watching me. Watching. It's this sense of dark oppression. And again, it becomes part of the toxic shame construct that you put over there and you don't think about it. Right? This is consequently why a lot of soul travelers, I think, take to substance misuse. And by the way, actually, whilst I say that, I've never quite understood that terminology. Well, is there a correct way of using substances, say crack or something? You misuse crack versus, oh no, I use crack the correct way. Or heroin or something. I don't quite get that. But anyway, there you go. It's like mental health. Like when you're referring to somebody who's suicidally depressed, like, oh, they have mental health issues. Yeah, their mental health. It's like, I thought it's lack thereof, but no, never mind. See? The wonder of the scientists, you know. When I had my breakdown, I ended up seeing this psychiatrist down the road in the local, you know, nut house, whatever. And I kid you fucking not, he was worse off than I am. I keep seeing these doctors, because do you remember, guys, in my last video I was talking about the doctor I saw in the hospital having my scan, and he had these weird orange tufts. Well, this psychiatrist had bald patches all over his scalp and interspersed with bright orange tufts of hair. And he had trouble getting his words out, you know, and he was just a drug dealer. That's all he was, man. He was a really strange looking drug dealer. That's what they are. They all are. You know, and he gave me a shitload of drugs that I never ended up taking. I just took an antidepressant. Very low dose, which took the edge off, but still made me feel quite fucking, you know, weird. Because I knew I couldn't deaden it altogether. I had to feel it. I had to keep feeling. It was all very, very surreal. When I had my breakdown, it really was like being inside a Salvador Dali painting. And I think it's very apt, because what this experience is, it is very surreal. It is truly distortion central. And it is all about trauma. Trauma is the name of the game, and trauma is the gateway. I've said it all along. But here's the thing, guys. No matter how big, how bad, and how terrifying it seems, we can face it. We can do it gently, you know? We can. And then you'll find that it is shadows on the wall. Yeah, there is a shitload there. Terrifying fear. Again, because if you are all that, then you will be alone forever. Rejected, abandoned, not wanted, and there will be nothing. But it's all a fucking lie. It's all a lie. You know? I've been watching a lot of Jay Reid's videos, and I mean, what a goldmine. This man is, I mean, and he is, you can tell he has a shitload of empathy, and I get the feeling he's probably been through it himself. Because I think he knows he talks from experience. But these videos are helping me to see all these different aspects and then to do a video of my own. But you know, credit where credit is due. And thank you very much, Daphne, for posting, for giving a shout out to that channel, Jay Reid, because it is unbelievably wonderful and it's been incredibly helpful to me. Because it helped me to do my inner work, my sacred work. And I'm hoping that it does the same for you guys out there as well, and I hope that you give him a thumbs up and that you subscribe to his channel. I will leave a link to his channel in the drop down box below this one. It's incredible the amount of putrid nastiness that we unwittingly agreed to in order to survive, when in fact that was never ever anything of the kind at all. We agreed to it under false pretenses. It said, and this is what it does. And I think maybe that is why the whole Lilith thing, always, whenever there's Lilith aspects going on astrologically, it always affects me in a really big way, and it does seem to do that to a lot of people. Now, we all know the story of Lilith, and that I don't think it's particularly important. I quite like Lilith. I like her a damn sight more than Eve, who was a fucking virtue signalling, moaning cunt. But give me Lilith any day, who's just plain like, I ain't having it, and no I'm not, and no I'm not, and no I'm not, and she's a total bitch, but I'm on the same page as Lilith. But in astrological terms, Lilith is a symbol, an archetype, as it were, for the darkest of the dark of the dark within us. And I think that what it really represents is this force of evil. In a way, it said to us, look, this is just the way it is. It's just the way it is, even though evil itself created and made it like this. But it has convinced us that, well, this is how it has to be. And for you to be safe, you make this agreement with me. So you accept all these lies that you are the shame construct and everything that it pertains. You are that and so dirty and disgusting and guilty and banned forever alone because you're so beyond redemption, blah blah blah. You accept all of that, and when you do that, I will keep you safe. My end of the bargain is to keep you safe, because I am the mother, I am the father. You see, it's usurped the true mother and the true father, and it has created this massive cataclysmic traumatic rift within us. We have divorced ourselves because part of us is in the shame construct and another part of us is oblivious and in the mind control of the external insane asylum, being mangled and fucked up by all the ads and all the movies and all the continual trauma-based mind control that stopped us from going back home and retrieving ourselves from the shame construct so that we may be whole again. Sacred mother, sacred father, sacred child, temperance, wholeness. You get? So evil is a usurper, and evil is a lying scumbag pretending that it's going to look after us. As long as you keep your end of the bargain and live on your knees and live in terror and fear and self-hate, I'm going to look after you. Well now, excuse me, evil, but why the fuck would I want to do that exactly? Remind me? Oh, so no, actually, don't. Shut the fuck up and get the fuck out of here. Because that is bullshit. You know? Just a minute, guys. Oh. See, you keep getting these letters, you know? This is not on. Like, you know, NHS letter. NHS, the National Health Service. The National Unhealthy Service. Anyway. I will open it and chuck it in a bin in a minute. So, it's all been a giant fucking lie, but we've lived it. Probably life after life after life. We've lived it. So it's very ingrained in us. So it comes to us. It's squeezing us now, saying, yeah, it's all true, it's all true. It will use things against us, you know. Whatever it is, different things with different people, but whatever really, really terrorizes the fuck out of us the most, it will use against us. But in the maverick effect, that which it uses against us triggers the toxic shame construct to be released into our awareness, aspect after aspect, sometimes all of them at once, feeling pretty horrific and unspeakable. But it is the healing crisis, it is the Herxheimer reaction, you see. So evil can't win. So yeah, there we are. So pay attention, for those of you who want to, who feel ready, who just happen to be in that particular tile at the moment. Sexual shame and sexual dysfunction and how that has manipulated us and just merely seems to exist to reinforce the whole thing. And it's especially true for people, for soul travelers who have been sexually abused, because we have that legacy of you are dirty and it was your fault. You made this happen. You made them do that. You see? So it's a grotesquely painful wound. Terrible wounding going right into the heart of you, into the core of you, from whence it weakens you, totally sucking out your life force. So it destroys your life, it destroys your health, it destroys your every fucking thing. And it will do this to soul travelers because we are so powerful. And it's interesting because I was listening to a video by Jay where he talks about how we feel so very, very dirty, how we feel so physically disgusting. And he talked about the story of Snow White. And I thought, yeah, he's hit the nail on the head there, hasn't he? We are Snow White, people. We are pure. We are pure. Yes, we are. And we are innocent. And we are beautiful. And we are precious beyond words. Alright? And this evil just hates us for it. Wow. You know? So it literally, and I was also thinking about Harry Potter and the Horcruxing, the Horcrux business, you know. What business are you in, sir? Well, I'm in the business of Horcruxes. Because Voldemort did what the narcissists do. Voldemort did what our narky mothers and fathers did to us. Voldemort put a part of himself into Harry Potter. Our narc parents projected all their inner putridness, their shame, toxic shame construct, onto us and into us. So soul travelers are Horcruxes. And just like Harry Potter, at the end, there has to be a death. But it's not death in the conventional term. I think what dies is the toxic shame construct. Right? Because in the end, when Voldemort attacked Harry Potter and did the Avada Kedavra curse, he didn't kill Harry Potter, no. He killed the part of himself that he had lodged within Harry Potter. And I think that is pertinent. I think that is what is happening to us here now. It is dying, it is dying, it is dying, bit by bit by bit. We can be with it, because it is a shadow on the wall, because it is nowhere as big and as black and as evil and as dark and as horrifying and as terrifying as it appears to be, people. It's Plato's cave, and it's all a motherfucking lie. All my love to all of you. Mwah.